Tembisa residents have again taken their anger to the streets, blocking roads with burning tires and demanding to speak to authorities. Their frustrations are focused on a range of issues, such as the rising cost of rates for municipal services like water and electricity. A meeting between residents and local authorities broke down last week, failing to end the impasse. 2 people have been killed so far in the ongoing protest today. Senior reporter Aviwe Mdila is in Tembisa, joining us now live as he's been covering what the community there is saying and protesting about. Good afternoon, Aviwe. What is the latest? At this stage, we only know, sadly, of 2 deaths. Well, he seems to be having a connection problem there. I could hear Aviwe Mdila, and we'll try and reconnect with him as soon as we are able to, because the situation on the ground in Tembisa is very much fluid as we speak. Now, 2 people dying, being killed during the protest today. A lot of burning happening and roads being blockaded. This has been going on now for the last few weeks, but today seems to be the worst in terms of the protest there. The local residents want to speak to the mayor. The mayor has not yet met with them, and those are the live visuals at this stage. As you can see, the police, they're trying to open up one of the roads in Tembisa that's been blocked, and there are members of the community who are up and about. So Aviwe Mdila is on the ground. We are trying to re-establish our connection with him so we can get the latest to exactly what is happening. But in case you missed it, 2 protesters have now been killed in the fresh violence there in Tembisa. Local authorities not winning last week in meetings with the residents, who are really up in arms against the high cost of municipal rates, among a number of other things. They're complaining about the tariffs that the municipality of Ekurhuleni is doing.
From Tembisa have come out in their numbers as a police nyala is approaching. A police nyala is walking over what looks like one of those electricity posts that has been taken and closing down the road at the moment. In fact, there are hundreds of community members just outside Hospital View. We do understand in the course of morning there has been protests and chaos around Tembisa. I just want to get the latest now from one of the community members as my colleague Persisbia shows you around what's happening here. Mama, thank you for joining us at ENCA, but we see the police nyala come on. We just want more clarity on exactly what's happening here in Tembisa.
Here in Tembisa, we are fighting for our rights that has been sent to the mayor that were not adhered. That is to do with our electricity that is very high, the subsidy of electricity, the indigent that was taken away from us, and the kiloliters that were free kiloliters that were taken away from us as well.
So this is all about electricity. What happens when you speak to the mayoral office, and what's the response like over there?
It's most unfortunate because we are human beings, and we were expecting the mayor to adhere to our request and understand that we're not animals and come to us so that he can listen and see the frustrations on our faces of whatever that we're complaining about. Unfortunately, after all the means that we have done to do things decently, that was not adhered by our mayor.
Okay, and we just got on the scene, but maybe give us more light on this particular protest, how long it's been ongoing for, and what you want to achieve by it.
Okay. What is happening now? It has been going close to 3 months now, because all other previous protests that we were doing, they were having Section 205, they were done according to the book. But the most unfortunate part is that now things have gone out of control, because after the meeting that we had, where we were expecting the mayor to show herself up, she didn't do that. That was last week. So this is following the meeting that the mayor was supposed to come and address us, and she didn't do that. So after 3 strikes that we had, that is according to the book, this is the 4th one that is out of the book. That is a shutdown in Tembisa. whereby we're expecting the mayor to come and give us his little piece of a body that is an ear to our complaints.
And I heard, tragically, 2 people have lost their lives today. Maybe tell us a bit more on what happened there.
It's most unfortunately because we are very harmless. We're not violent to anything, but people who are in powers, the people that have rifles, people who are in authorities that can do things that we cannot be able to do as a community, they just fired the shot at the community that is so innocent just for fighting for their own rights. It's so sad to us as a community that it has to come to that push whereby this is innocently, this is peaceful protest, but unfortunately they have to do what they've done to us. This is very painfully. We were not expecting to lose lives like we did today, and we lost 2 lives.
And we understand there's a current meeting with 3 MMCs, I'm told, with some of the community members. What happens then going forward?
We spoke to the MMC, and he told us that the meeting that we were supposed to have had with the mayor, it has collapsed because of the community. Most of the time when things happen like this, it's always the case that we have to be blamed as a community. However, they're telling us that the mayor was there. We stayed there for the whole day. Unfortunately, she didn't show up, but now they're telling us that the mayor was there. So now we have requested the MMC to pass the message for us as a community of Tembisa that we need her to come down and listen to our complaints and hear our frustration and see our frustration on our faces, that we really need this to be taken and in order. This is not what we wanted to see. This is not what we like. But unfortunately, this has pushed us beyond our control for us to end up doing what we're doing today. However, this is very much peacefully. There's no violence. Regardless, the stones and everything and the band of tires that you see, but it's peaceful march.
Okay, one of the ladies showing us what looks like capsules from rubber bullets that would detail even some of what was happening. It seems like more capsules of these rubber bullets coming through now as we see one police nyala trying to make its way through from what is seemingly the road being closed here. I want to get more voices here to understand what's been going on. Blomkhulu, maybe give us your understanding of what's been going on in the course of the morning. I see you giving us rubber bullets capsules that we're seeing.
The community in the morning were just protesting peaceful, and they protected an elevated truck just here, and then the crazy police came and started shooting willy-nilly. Look at the rounds that he shot. Just look at that. And this is not for the first time. And we understand that there are people that were killed the other side of Makulung and Mashimong, and also in Rabasut. We have an uncaring mayor, an uncaring, actually,
calls are criminals as well.
Yes, now on television we are told that he
so we want to ask
criminals.
when she said we are criminalists here in Tembisa, what does she mean?
What does she mean?
We want to know
Come here and look at this.
And how long will this particular protest end? What will happen going forward?
Let me tell you something. We have tried to address this issue with the mayor earlier on. She has promised that she's going to meet in the community. She has failed to do that. When she came here, she said to us that we are criminals. We are not criminals. We just want to address our issues with her so that we can see how can we address these issues.
All right, thank you very much. The community of Tembisa here saying that they want the mayor to address the issues. That is, of course, around the electricity woes that they say they have. They're saying the electricity is too high. In fact, over the last 3 months, they've had 3 similar protests that were under regulation and under law. But of course, they're saying that nothing has happened to change the situation. Hence, they've now taken to the streets of Tembisa, blockading the majority of the roads. It's difficult to come inside Tembisa here because of the shutdown that's still continuing here. We see the police nyala now trying to make its way through. Just struggling with your audio, Bradan, but we're seeing the police nyala forcefully pushing the metals that are on the ground here as it is going to try to get inside. Of course, community also looking on, telling them not to come. We see there's a forensic pathology vehicle even behind it that suggests that there are those 2 people that we do understand have passed away. We're seeing the forensics now also making its way behind the police Nyala, while there is ongoing communication between the police that are driving the Nyala as well as some of these community members on the ground here, as they say that they've had enough on the ground and they want the high electricity tariffs that's been imposed on Tembisa to be dealt with, and they want this to be dealt with speedily, Bradan.
Yeah, the situation is very volatile. And Aviwe, have you got a sense this morning at least, what is the response been like from the Ekurhuleni Mayor's office to the ongoing protest in Tembisa?
Well, we hear, in fact, that the community members have engaged the mayor earlier on. They've been called criminals. That's what they're telling us. But my colleague, Kamo, is on the other side of Tembisa, where we do understand there is a meeting with the MMCs. I think the MMC of Finance and two other MMCs, together with some of the community leaders. But we're hearing on the ground that that's not going accordingly. Hence, now we're seeing them continue with this protest. We're seeing this forensic pathology service also following through. That would even be some sort of confirmation of the two dead Tembisa community members that have been reported. We saw those capsules from rubber bullets that would suggest that it was quite chaotic, and we're seeing hundreds, in fact, of community members standing by, watching on as the police Nyala forcefully makes its way past the rocks that are littered across the road here, heading towards what we'd assume is the area where one of the bodies at least would be. We're going to try to get closer, Bradan, to see exactly what's going on here, as the community members at first were a bit hostile towards that bus. Now they have accepted us on the scene here, as they say that they want their grievances and this matter to be heard. In fact, they want this to be addressed quite speedily. We're seeing even every road here littered with roads, essentially, as my colleague Percy Smia shows you, a complete shutdown of Tembisa. It's quite difficult to make your way inside Tembisa. Ourselves, we're not even parked inside here. Our car is parked some distance away, Bradan, given that we couldn't even drive through like that police Nyala is doing at the moment, assuming it's going in the direction of where one of these two dead bodies that have been reported is, seeing that forensic services there. Of course, the grievances are around the high electricity prices that they've said that they've tried to address over the last 3 months. 3 protests that have been lawful, and this one we do understand is an unprotected strike that they're saying that they've had enough.
Thank you very much, Aviwe, for the latest on the ground in Tembisa. A very volatile situation indeed. Please do take care there together with the cameraman. We'll touch base with you a little bit later on.